Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews. I'm Brayden and I've been gone away for 12 whole days. I know, it's been forever since I posted. So, when I was gone, I watched quite a bit of animated movies that came out this year. So today, we're going to be talking about all 5 new sort of animated movies that I checked out this year. Well, in the past 12 days, but also that came out this year. So, just to go run through, I went to a few different states. I visited some family, so-and-so, stuff like that. So, today we are going to be reviewing Marcel the Shells with Shoes On, Luck, Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation, Sea Beast, and The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's get talking about them. So, starting us off here is going to be Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Now, I had the chance to see this in theaters in Massachusetts with some of my family, and this was after seeing Thor Love and Thunder's in theaters like 3 days before, and this movie is so good. This is an A24 movie, so after I'd seen the trailer and I saw A24, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense why this movie sounds so weird. And it's about a shell, has a googly eye, and has shoes on, and it's a documentary on its life, basically, by this guy who I can't remember his name. This is one of the weirdest concepts for a movie I have heard. So apparently it was based off of a bunch of YouTube clips that somebody made. I forget the actress's name, but she voices Marcel, and this movie is just so sweet, so funny, and so cute, while also being a bit darker, and so well made. Now, just to state the obvious, this is not gonna be for everybody, okay? You have to have some patience. The movie starts out pretty slow, and then when it gets moving, it gets better, but it does start out sort of slow. It is a slower movie, but I just really enjoyed that about the movie. It's so good. I just want to mention that Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is also not animated 100%. I didn't notice this, but it was actually made out of clay, Marcel is, so it's stop motion while also set in the real world. So, am I cheating a bit with having it in the animation category? Yes, I am. Am I sorry for it? No, I'm not. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is a great animated movie. So, I'm just having it in this video so that I could talk about it because I really want to talk about it. The concept for this movie is great. And it's just so weird and cute about this shell that's moving around in a tennis ball with its grandmother, I guess, and living life. And it's so adorable, and we don't even see the guy that's holding the camera until we're over halfway through the movie. Just the little stuff. It seems like it's been clips from a YouTube video. Well, not clips from a YouTube video, but this guy recorded this shell that he found, put it on YouTube, and then it got millions of views, which is actually what happened. It got millions of views like 11 years ago on YouTube, the original videos, and now it got made into the movie, and that's pretty cool to me. It's just so cute and so funny, and I really enjoyed it. The characters are all great. The emotions, it really hits. This is like top 3 most emotional movies of the year, along with Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Northman, Batman. Okay, you know what? Maybe it's not top 3. Maybe it's top 6 or top 5. But this movie really does hit at times, and so it's just great. Just everything here. The little talk, the little like, I've always liked the concept of a dog, so I took a piece of lint and I tied it to a string. That's what Marcel the Shell says. That's the sort of comedy where he's just, well, I don't know what gender he or she is, but it's a shell. I don't know. But it's just walking around saying these little lines of dialogue. I'm pretty sure it's a she, but it might not be. I was keep wondering, like, huh, that's interesting. Huh, I wonder. But it's just great, and you get to see how the movie ends, and it's a happy, sweet little ending. But it also deals with death and emotion in a beautiful way. And I never noticed how much A24 produces with Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie I also checked out After Yang, and then I see them advertising Bodies, 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 which looks actually pretty good, and I can't wait to check it out. But A24 has a ton of stuff coming out this year, and I don't necessarily want to see it all because I know A24 doesn't always deliver. But they've come out with some great movies, and this is one of those great movies, along with Everything Everywhere All at Once, 8th Grade, Disaster Artist, I think, was A24, and Come On, Come On. Just all those movies, so good. A24, amazing movie studio. Maybe one of my favorites because they haven't really failed on a movie, but I do need to see more of their movies to really get a feel of how good they could be and also how bad, even though I don't really want to watch a whole bunch of bad movies. So at the end of the day, Marcel the Shell is so cute, funny, adorable. The movie is great. The characters are great. I was just like, yes, whenever we get to see how this movie, how it's recorded and everything, it's all great. It all hit. And when I first saw it, I'm like, that's an 8. Then it went to 8.5. Now I'm giving Marcel the Shell a 9 out of 10. I'm pretty sure it's going to stay at this score. This is just a great movie. Next, we have Luck. Now, this is a movie that came out fairly recently, and it's about a girl. She has really bad luck. She meets this cat who has really good luck. She finds a magic penny from the cat. She has good luck. She wants to give it to a girl. She loses the penny. She has to go to Magic Ireland World to get the penny back. So, concept, fairly good. It could be funny, it could be not funny, and we don't really have St. Patrick's Day movies. I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day myself too much, but it's nice to have a St. Patrick's Day movie, and Luck is well, it's probably the best St. Patrick's Day movie I've ever seen, but I've only seen Luck, so, yeah, I didn't care for this one too much. At first, when it started going, I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad, and then it got worse. And a bunch of the stuff sort of gets cheesy when you have these random bunnies in this luck world and all this weird stuff that I'm like, oh, what is going on here? There's some comedy that doesn't hit. I don't really think of any comedy that I'm like, yeah, that was super funny and I laughed so hard. No, it's mostly like, you know what? That wasn't horrible. That's what that's what I was thinking throughout the movie. And I went through like a giant binge where I watched a ton of movies this one day, and this was like what I watched. Really, like, it was the second movie I watched. It was pretty late, and I was just like, okay, Apple TV Plus, you have given some really, really great movies this year. They're the ones that gave us Coda and this other movie that I checked out, Cha-Cha Real Smooth. They could do really emotional movies. But I guess their animated movies aren't too good. So the story is very generic, to say the least. I didn't really care about anything happening here. The characters are not amazing. And there's some fun and creative things in this, but I feel like it doesn't hit. None of the comedy hit. The animation doesn't really land for me. And it's just sort of like, oh well, that movie happened. I don't really care. What's next? Just move on, forget about it. And it still has some stuff stuck in my head. There's some cool pieces here where you're seeing the luck work, but other than that, it's sort of just, when Apple TV Plus puts out a bad movie, they're the streaming service that it hurts the most because they put out the least amount of stuff out of all the streaming services. So I just feel Apple TV Plus, better luck next time. I hope you give us a great movie that we all love this year other than Cha-Cha Real Smooth, and just fix up your animation. So I'm going to give Luck a 3.5 out of 10. It was there, basically. It was not horrible, but it was just, oh well, we have Luck now. Great. Next movie that I checked out, Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation. This is a short in the trilogy of shorts from Disney Plus Lego Star Wars, where we follow our three main characters, Finn, Rey, and Poe, as they go through just learning stories from Star Wars. The first one, it was 100% a holiday, and it was with Rey. The next one, it was Poe, and he goes to Darth Vader's haunted house. And now we follow Finn as he goes on a vacation, and we get to see him meet, like, old Star Wars characters, and they get to tell a story. So, yeah, this movie was just sort of there. It wasn't horrible. That's what I could say. There isn't a whole bunch to say here. I think my favorite story that we got told was Obi-Wan Kenobi, because it made me laugh a little bit with some of the musical cues with Book of Boba Fett stuff. And also just seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi sing was a bit odd. Sort of was like, huh. Other than that, nah, there isn't a whole bunch here. Most of the stuff was pretty generic. I didn't really care. And I'm getting tired of these Lego Star Wars things. I hope they don't make another one. It's not too terrible, but it could always be worse. I feel like some of the musical cues were good with some of the music, but other than that, this movie is nothing special. I don't really care about it. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. There's not a whole bunch to talk about here. It's just another Star Wars short thing that they made. Next thing that we're going to be talking about, Sea Beast. Now, originally I was like, I'm not checking out Sea Beast. Why would I check out Sea Beast? It doesn't even look good. And then a bunch of great reviews came out for it. People were saying it was a good/great Netflix movie. It had great animation. They loved the characters, and it was a great fun time. Sort of like How to Train Your Dragon, but a bit different. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I waited like a few months, and I found a time to watch it with my little brothers, where I watch most of these animation stuff, and it was good. I originally was like, yeah, this is great for its first 2 acts. And then when you get to the 3rd act for this movie, I don't feel like it falls apart, but it wasn't as good. So is this currently, right now, the best animated movie? We're not really counting Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Does it beat Lightyear? I'd say yes. This movie has great animation. I cannot stress that enough. The animation here is truly beautiful. I loved almost every single frame of this movie. It looks so good. And I really just was like bewildered and crazed. I was just like, wow, for this movie. Because I saw the trailer for it, like a quick clip of it, and I'm like, no, this doesn't look too good. But then, just the monsters, the ocean, the characters, it feels like a more mature version of a bunch of movies that we have gotten before. Not exactly more mature than How to Train Your Dragon, but you know, the swashbuckling sort of thing. It feels a lot more mature than that, where they actually kill sea beasts, people actually almost die and actually do die. And I really enjoy the sea beasts in this movie. It's a cute movie at times. It could be a sort of emotional at times, not a whole bunch. It has a great story at the end of the day with these sea beasts, sort of like How to Train Your Dragon. And I just really had a fun time with it. The first 2 acts, this movie's pretty solid, 8 out of 10. 3rd act sort of just brought it down a little bit. Like, this isn't going to destroy the entire movie for you, but it just didn't 100% all come together for me. It had some great moments to it, and just even the side characters in this movie are great. I really enjoy a bunch of the stuff here, and so it's just pretty fresh. Also, even though it is borrowing from a bunch of other things, it still has this feel of just freshness and just so, that was something nice. I'm glad I watched that. So this is one of the better animated movies that I've seen this year. Best animated movie so far. I'm giving this movie a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good. Like, this movie surprised me quite a bit. And now for our final subject of today, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. This movie came out of nowhere. So I knew that they were coming out with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies on Netflix. It came out. I didn't care. I didn't check it out. I was just like, I'm not even going to watch the trailer. Then I saw this one review on Letterboxd that said it was amazing, the visuals were great, and they gave it like 4.5 stars. I was like, I gotta check this out now. So I watched the trailer. I'm like, this looks so good. It looks like everything that's come before with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then they just brought this energy. They made the visuals great. They made it pop, and it looked like the comedy would work. It seemed like the visuals were 100% working. It seemed like the story would work, and it delivered. It did it. It is the greatest animated movie of the year currently. It's in my top 10 movies of all time this year, and this is probably one of the most shocking movies of the entire year for me. Other than Marcel the Shell, of course, but I wasn't even going to check this movie out. And then here we have this amazing story with great visuals, great characters, and just a little background of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for me. I've seen the show, like my little brothers watch it. I've seen maybe like 3 full episodes, tops. I didn't watch the show a whole bunch. I watched the old movies. I watched the first 3 movies. I loved the first one. I think it's better than this movie. Second one, cheesy but fun. Third one is terrible. And then they came out with new ones. I only saw Out of the Shadows. And Out of the Shadows was, it's bad. It's really bad. I hated it. I thought they did Krang wrong. I thought the turtles looked wrong. I thought the story didn't come through. But this movie, I was a bit concerned when I saw Shredder. He looked a bit weird. And also, what was his name? The Rat. What was his name? Master Splinter. That might be his name. But anyway, I watched that, and I know it's a different take, and I enjoyed this different take. The animation here is gorgeous. Best animation of the entire year. The characters are all great. I love their journey. I love the comedy here. The just visuals, they just really pop so much. And just the little visual gags that are going on every frame, almost. It could also pack the emotion. Krang comes here. He's a bit comedic, but he's not too comedic. He's menacing, but he's not so menacing that you can't have a fun time with his character. He was great. He was so just freakishly good. And I loved all the turtles in this movie. They characterized them so well. I love that they have magic, and it's sort of just like, yeah, they have magic now. Usually, if you did something like that with Scooby-Doo, I'd be like, why does Scooby-Doo is a superhero? But when you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with magic, I think that works because they deal with these items. Scooby-Doo, it doesn't work because he doesn't work with superheroes unless you're counting the time he teamed up with Batman. But this movie just worked. I loved it, and it was easily the most surprising thing that's come out of this year for me. Even more surprising than Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, because when I saw the trailer, I'm like, this looks pretty good. When I hadn't even seen a trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's by Nickelodeon, the studio that gave us Playing with Fire and a bunch of other trash movies. They finally redeemed themselves. They gave this property to somebody that actually cared. I don't even know who did this. And they nailed it. This movie's an 8.5 out of 10. Best animated movie of the year. Not the best movie on the list. And just to rank the movies, I think it's pretty obvious, but just to keep you heads up, Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation is in last, and then Luck, and then we have Sea Beast, and then we have Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Marcel the Shell. Just to be clear, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On are both in my top 10 favorite movies of the year. These are both great movies that I would 100% recommend checking out. More Marcel the Shell with Shoes On than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that movie just, I don't know if that's going to work for everybody. For me, it did. I don't know if it's going to work with everybody. So that's just my 5. Well, was it 5? I think it was 5. Yes, it was 5 movies that I checked out recently that were animated. So I'm going to rank these at the end of the month. So subscribe to the channel for that. Like this video if you liked it. Don't not like it if you didn't like it, but maybe, well, I'll see, but you might not see. You won't get any satisfaction. So it was good enough. I didn't see any horrible, horrendous animated movies. So, and I did see 1 pretty good one and 2 really good ones. So, thanks for watching. I'm Braden. This is Max Reviews. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Braden out.